Okay, welcome to the Black Dimension. This is Kev, and with me is Donnie and Roger. We are the innovators of this channel, and this is our continuing episodic series, the MCU Infinity 23. Last time we did Captain America the First Avenger. We will be covering these movies in chronological order. According to and we'll be ranking them accordingly. So right now, Captain America: The First Avenger is number one. Well, which is pretty obvious because and this time we will see how Captain Marvel stacks up against Captain America, where it fits in the ranking. Will she be number one by the end of this broadcast, or will she be resting at number two? So anyway, introduce yourselves, fellas, and let's get this party started.
Hello, folks. This is Roger, and I am here to talk about this. Um, this is going to be interesting as this series goes on. So glad to be here. Glad y'all here with us.
What's up, everybody? I'm Donnie. Donnie the Great. I'm here to talk about this Marvel franchise as a whole. We will get down and dirty one by one through these 23 weeks with each one of the movies. Um, I'm here to be your average pessimist.
Okay, so Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel. Let's do a couple fun facts. Captain Marvel was the film that came out. The MCU film that came out. Its release date was right before Avengers Endgame, and I'm sure that a lot of
Infinity.
people that went, yeah, a lot of people that went to see the film were expecting a lot of in-game Easter eggs. Now, what do y'all think? Did you get what you expected from this Captain Marvel film?
Uh,
Uh,
I'll say some. Yeah, I'll say yeah. I got what I expected. Yeah, I did. Honestly, it was different, but I got what I expected.
okay. Yes, I would say I pretty much got what I expected too because of all of the media hype and also some of the controversy as well. Yeah, so I say I pretty much expected everything that I had gotten at that point. I knew it would be the kind of film that it was going to be before it hit the theaters. Um,
Yeah, I can say that.
so, all right, let's get this thing playing. All right, and like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, this is the MCU Infinity 23 presented by the Black Dimension. Please like, share this video, and most importantly, please give us a subscription and hit the um, push the notification bell. And when you push the notification bell, hit the all so you get notifications to whenever we upload or do live broadcasts such as these. Okay, so
Sound check. So let's get into this tale of two captains.
hello, 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 hello.
There we go. There we go.
Okay, okay,
I'm here.
okay, cool,
Okay, yeah.
cool, cool. Okay, so what happened? What happened? Did we have a
I have
broadcast?
no idea. I was here, and then I was like, "Are you guys there?"
The DC universe didn't want this to happen.
Right. The Justice
Uh,
League is on our case.
well, all right, fellas. Hold on, just bear with me for a second. Let me see if I can do something to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Y'all see there?
Yeah. You know, it's actually
Yep.
interesting that our first two movies are both captains.
Okay. Okay. All right. So just bear with me one moment. Let me work
I
on.
just want you to know she's a lieutenant in the military. She wasn't actually a captain. No, I'm kidding. She probably was. I don't know.
I mean, she might not have really ranked, but truth be told, Steve Rogers really didn't either.
Yeah, Steve was a lieutenant captain his damn self. He
Yeah,
went from private to
he
captain.
just right. He just made himself a captain.
And that was right there was unfair.
I guess when you're a super soldier, you can do stuff like that.
He was his male.
Yeah. But you know what though? I give Captain Marvel some credit. She at least had to earn her being captain if she actually made a captain. But since I mean, they did show her military background, but did they really show her actually become a captain? We just have to assume she would. Yeah. When did it
Okay.
happen? I don't know.
Well, she started out as Veers. She started out as Veers because that was the only part of her name tag that survived her accident that created her and gave her powers. Now, I was trying to think about a timeline of how long was it before she became she realized her powers, how long she served with the Kree soldiers and everything, because they seem to be kind of her fellow soldiers seemed to be kind of taken aback by her. Like, they was treating her like she was trying to prove herself. Now, my question is like, when did we have kind of these earthly dispositions in space? Like, did we know that there were that these problems of misogyny spread it out throughout the galaxy? Because I wasn't aware of it, and I just want to understand. You know, I just want to understand, and show tolerance, rather show tolerance.
Well, you know
Because
what
it
I
was
had to interpret that as? I had to interpret that as uh, she was human. Why is she even here? Like humans are too weak and frail. That's how I have to interpret that. Because
okay.
uh, I don't, because no other way does it actually make any sense.
I mean,
It's just
because
a human. Why would we keep her?
yeah, because one thing is she could not have been there that long, because it was like they acted like they really didn't know her or what she was capable of. So she couldn't have been with the Kree soldiers that long. But yeah, the way you interpret it actually makes it sound better, Roger. So that right there is cool. But the way the movie was trying to make you interpret it was that there was some kind of overt sexism among alien species. Because yeah, male and female must actually be a gender in space, which it is sometimes the way they draw the characters. But that's another conversation. Um, anyway, okay. Let's talk about some upsides. This shows the first ever, the youngest appearance of Nick Fury. They show how Nick Fury, not really how he joined Shield. They show a young Nick Fury and a young Agent Coulson, which puts Coulson back in an MCU film, because he was of course killed off in the first Avengers film, which we will be covering down the road in this series. So what did you think of that? I like what they did with young Nick Fury and young Coulson. It was nice to see Coulson again after his shocking, untimely death in the Avengers movie. Uh,
Yeah. It was nice to see Coulson and the way they did Fury and Coulson, I liked it a lot. But I'm trying to think from the timeline wise. Because wasn't that like 86? Was that 86? No, it wasn't 86 when they
I think it was like
um,
no, it was the early '90s. It was the early '90s.
when yeah, it was the early 90s when they first met her. Yeah, it was the early 90s when they first met her. So my thing is that's a good amount of time for them to kind of go through the rise up the ranks. I found it a little
Yeah,
surprising that Nick Fury seemed like he was already directing at that point. He was calling a lot of shots. So, you know,
yeah,
Yeah,
which
he was
meaning
running
that
things. He was on top of the ball at that point.
which means
yeah,
that yeah, he was running things by that time. Also, I think they did it in that time frame because they wanted to give a logical explanation as to why Captain Marvel hadn't appeared earlier in any of the MCU films.
yeah.
Pretty much giving her a way in because in behind the scenes they didn't cast the actor yet. So
Yeah, what?
okay, go ahead, Roger.
No, I was gonna say it was a good look. It was a good look to me. But if the Kree had her since the '90s, because that's just how I took it. The Kree had her since the '90s. But they were inhibiting her abilities for her really reaching her full potential. So at the
Oh,
end of the
okay.
day, she probably just wasn't well liked. I think that. Yeah, I mean, that's just my interpretation of things. She just
Why do
wasn't
you
a
think she
very liked
wasn't
person.
like? Why do you think she wasn't like?
No, no, I'm saying you gotta give context to the universe you're a part of. The humans are weak. You see what I'm saying? The humans are
Yeah.
very fragile in comparison to all these uh, uh other creatures from different planets. So we're like
Yes.
nothing, So why would you want to hang out with her? She's a
Yeah.
nobody.
And again, thinking of her as like human compared to alien is way better to think about than the message that they were actually trying to send. And it's like, okay, so okay, did they hit the mark with casting on it? Okay, did Brie Larson, is she the perfect actress? Could they have picked another actress? Because many feel that Chris Evans, was perfect for Captain America. Do you think they picked the perfect actress? They could have done better. They couldn't have done any better. What's your opinion on that?
Well, my
Brie,
my
Brie
opinion,
Larson
I'm
body.
told.
She did a good job, in my opinion.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, she's a great actress. I was actually watching something where there's a woman who's basically uh she's basically picking all these people that's playing these roles. So she's been doing a fantastic job. I wish I could think of her name right now. She's doing a fantastic job with the actresses. Brie Larson, to me, she fit the role very well. She as an actress, she did a great job. Her as a person, not so great as far as promoting the movie, but as an actress, she did a great job in the role.
Yeah, I think that for the way Captain Marvel is or has been for the past few years in the comic book, Brie Larson would fit that perfectly. Yeah, for the type of character because it's like art imitates life. They say Captain Marvel, as the way she's being written now, is pretty much like Brie Larson. So yes, as far as casting goes, they did great, and it's but just for information's sake, Captain Marvel is going to be the lead captain, the lead character. Like she's leading the next phases of the MCU since of course Iron Man was Iron Man's untimely sad death at the hands of saving the universe and saving or at least half of it.
Well, I've heard those rumors, but my thing is they need to explain that, and I gotta have a reason to buy into that. She just showed up. You can't be the leader with these other people already here. And I mean, the Spider-Man situation is gonna make a big difference too. Will he be around or will he not be around because of the
Oh well,
contract
well, well.
situation? Soon?
Well, here's what I heard about what they're going to do with Spider Man. Spider Man is going to have this seriously huge crush on Captain Marvel. What they're trying to do is they're trying to make her, because of the controversy that surrounded the film, they're trying to make her more likable, and they think to make, Spider-Man, pant and follow her around like a puppy is going to do that. Whether it works or not, who knows? Tom Holland and Brie Larson, their acting ability is going to heavily depend on that. Is they're going to make it funny or they're going to make it meh, you know.
I guess that could work. But I mean, but Captain Marvel, though, just to kind of get back to the film, Captain Marvel was a pretty good film in my opinion. The one thing about it to me, well, I say the one unexpected thing about it to me was I know
Mhm.
the MCU said they weren't going to do any more origin stories, and I guess technically it's like it wasn't technically an origin story, but it was an origin story because they showed you how she became who she became. They just kind of
She got
didn't do it really in
yeah, it was
chronological
flashback.
order. Yeah, they did it with flashbacks. So it was just not a chronological order, but to me, it was still an origin story.
Mm.
I didn't forget to leave turn it off.
And
Well,
I
I
didn't
mean,
like the way
if
it
the
was. Though. Oh, go ahead. My
if
bad. Go ahead.
no, I said the MCU is done with origin stories. The Eternals is a huge origin story, so they're not exactly done yet. It's like it's
Oh,
it's like the origin of origins,
Yeah,
So
I think it's
I
a
don't think
smooth
they're done with the
move.
origin stuff yet.
Other than that, I think it's a smooth move for them to stop doing the origin stories. How many times have we seen the Fantastic Four, Spider Man, etc.? I do like the flashback aspect. You get a quick little glimpse, but no,
Yeah,
I don't want to see another Fantastic Four origin. Let them come in and save the day, and they go, "Oh, these guys I've been hearing about," and then you get a little bit of a flash or what have you. I don't want to see the whole damn origin story. Let's get right to it.
yeah.
hey,
I mean, if they do the plan for the Fantastic Four like they say they are, it's going to be pretty good. But yes, back to Captain Marvel. Okay, here's one thing I didn't like about the film. Also, I didn't like the fact that the scrolls, like you think the scrolls are there to be the bad guys. They are significant villains in the MC. No, I mean, in the Marvel Comics legend. And, and one of my favorite characters is Super Scroll. Like, he's badass. But the scrolls they were more so they were nomadic. They were just misunderstood aliens trying to find a home world. And I want to see stuff like Secret Invasion come through fruition. I want to see the scrolls as bad guys,
So
unless
here's my question: isn't the scroll in this movie supposed to be Super Scroll? The main
uh,
scroll, anyway.
oh, the main scroll. No, I don't think so.
I don't think. Yeah, you talking about what's his name? Talos.
Yeah, he's supposed to be Super Scroll in this movie, or in general.
I mean, shoot, looking it up right now.
I
It's
don't think they're
always
moving in that direction. I don't think that's the direction they're moving in. Because to me, the beautiful thing about the scrolls is because uh they can shapeshift. They can go in a lot of different directions. So the I believe the scrolls will end up being bad guys. It just may not be this particular group of scrolls, but I'm pretty sure there's plenty amongst the universe, and they will come back and be bad guys.
Hmm. And no, Talos is not Super Scroll.
Yeah, I didn't see them moving
Um,
in that direction at all.
yeah, Talos is not Super Scroll, but Super Scroll is such an interesting character. But of course, they would have to introduce the Fantastic Four first, and then make that the way for that. But I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of surprises coming for the MCU straight ahead. Uh, okay, let's see.
But
So the ensemble cat. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I thought Captain Marvel was a great movie, but for me personally, I honestly did not like the fact that her origin came as flashbacks and she was already who she was. So now I'm looking at different origin stories. I prefer like it play out to how they became who they are as the hero rather than them already being a hero and then you have flashbacks to kind of see why they were the hero.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't really like that as an origin story, but I'm gonna say this though: And Spider-Man, when Spider-Man came in with Captain America Civil War, and they just talked about it and they didn't really show it, that was acceptable because it was just in quick conversation, but they never really fleshed it out. So as a movie, I guess I like my origin story in a more chronological order. I didn't know that until I saw this.
Yeah, but like, but I think that goes back to the fact that Captain Marvel, they kind of tried to cram everything into her film because like they hadn't written her into the MCU yet. Still trying to find the actress to play Carol Danvers. Okay, so I wanted to get into cast before we go ahead and tell you how this is placed. Just really fast. The little girl, Rambo's daughter. Carol's best friend,
Little Monica.
little Monica. Yes, her adult version will be a very important character in the MCU to come. Remember this took place in the early '90s, so by the time they get to present day, she's going to be an adult.
Now, do you think that they will do her true to form iteration, or do you think that she will be what Captain Marvel was prior to the whole change of her character,
I think that she. I
Miss
think that.
Marvel?
I think that. Shoot. Wow, that is an interesting question. Because
But there's no
you
telling.
you think that
There's no telling
you
which.
think. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The original Captain Marvel was Monica Rambeau, right? Monica Rambeau's power set was very familiar, very similar to the power set that this Captain Marvel has, right? So, what are they going to do with Monica Rambeau when she gets into the universe?
I don't know if they're going to make her to Kamala Khan because they are pushing Kamala Khan as like a very popular character.
Well, yeah. So that was she's the second Miss Marvel. The original Miss Marvel was the one we knew as Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers.
Going for a check mark, if anything. So that should be that should be a surprise. I mean, I'm not real sure what they're going to do with her as of right now, but I do understand that she's going to have a very important role. We look Monica Rambeau like as soon I didn't even type in Monica real good, and they just like let me see
But
MC.
just keep in mind that this is one of their universes, so there's no telling what direction they're gonna actually go in. Because this is just one of the because with the multiverse, this is just one universe in the
Yeah,
multiverse.
she's already been cast. Actually, she's gonna be a
She has. Okay, well, something happened to Kev. um, what something happened to Kev, so he'll bring himself back up as soon as he gets that in order. But when it comes down to it, I thought Captain Marvel was a pretty good movie. I personally now I know if I get an origin story, I want an origin story that starts from the beginning and shows me why they became the hero. I want to see the way they're going to choose to tell that particular thing. So that's kind of important to me. I didn't realize how important it was until it was taken away from me. Here, here's Kev back.
Okay. Did y'all hear the part where I say Monica Rambeau was going to be played by Tiana Paris? She's already been cast to appear in WandaVision.
Oh, I actually saw her. I saw something about different cast members and things. So I actually saw her already. So all I know is that's a nice looking woman that they're gonna have playing her. So I'm cool with that. That's all I know about it so far. I'm not familiar with her as an actress.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
going to be good. That's a good casting decision on my end. In my belief, anyway.
Okay, so we're looking forward to seeing her make her first appearance on WandaVision because I'm sure, with the TV and the movies that are going to be intertwined, that she's going to be in both. So, from now on, watch these casting choices because they're sure to appear in a film, which I
Uh,
think is going to be very innovative and very interesting.
what these TV shows that they're gonna have will be connected to the movies, and they say you're gonna have to watch these television shows to keep up with everything going on. So if you are unaware as an audience member, if you're watching the MCU, you gotta actually watch the television shows they're gonna be putting out because they are very connected to the movies at
Mhm.
this point.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Anything else about Captain Marvel that we should know before we unveil the do the big reveal?
Well, I just want to say I did think it was a pretty good movie. Definitely like the casting. They did a fantastic job de-aging Nick Fury and Coulson. So the technology they're using is wonderful, and I actually am I'm definitely looking forward to see how they gonna play the story and like where she's gonna fit in with the rest of the team, because I think that's gonna be
Um,
made for very interesting dynamics, because with with Iron Man not really being there, because you can argue he was the leader because he paid for everything, but you can argue Captain America was the leader because he was the oldest guy, most experienced guy as far as a combat situation, things like that. And now with both of them off the table, people gonna have to jockey for that leadership position. Because in my opinion, it would be Thor, but Thor don't run off into space.
Mhm.
So who knows how it's gonna go?
yeah, I was fine with the movie, everything except for the way they did Marvel. I wanted more from Marvel. I wanted more character from Marvel. But it is what it is. So we'll just suck it up and run.
Mhm. Yes. I will always say that any movie is great as long as you can focus on making it a great story. Captain Marvel definitely had a good story for the rush job that I felt like it was to try to introduce everything about the character. I think they pulled it off pretty good. Yes, and another thing about her, she is probably going to be like, if not the most powerful character in the MCU, probably in the top three. So, Captain Marvel, get used to her. Brie Larson. A fun fact is that Brie Larson, I think, has signed a 7 picture deal with Disney and Marvel.
Seven
So,
pictures. All right.
seven seven
That
picture
sounds
deal.
about right, because the deals that they have been doing, they're trying to make them long. They're trying to get people up to 9 movies. So
I
that
mean, that's
sounds about
fine, but
right.
her power set is on a consistent basis isn't gonna be something that you can consistently use. Like you gotta think about it. They nerfed Thor. We didn't see that power from Thor or Hulk until hell. We didn't even see it until Endgame. Endgame, we saw it from Thor. You didn't really see it from Hulk.
Personally, I thought that. Personally, I thought that they should concentrate on making the Hulk more powerful. You know, Hulk is strong as there is. I mean, I'm a Hulk fan though. Like I'm a Hulk fan, and you
That's
know,
why I
Okay.
said they nerfed Hulk. They nerfed Hulk and they nerfed Thor.
yes,
Thor and Hulk are strong individuals. You didn't see that power from Thor until after he got back with his new hammer or
yeah,
his axe.
Stormbreaker.
Yeah, Stormbreaker.
Well,
Yeah,
really,
But you didn't see that
Ragnarok
power.
kind of
right.
Ragnarok, you guys see that power.
Ragnarok. He kind of
Did you see it anywhere else?
okay.
No,
Okay.
yeah, but I think that I'm kind of fearing what they're about to do to Thor because they're introducing Beta Ray Bill. So Beta Ray Bill is he wields Stormbreaker. And then they saying Jane Foster's supposed to become Thor. So she's gonna wield Mjolnir. So what does that leave him? Is he gonna have the
Uh,
sword?
So I think
okay.
they'll do Jane Foster temporarily because she's not a the actress playing Jane Foster. Jane Foster, I don't think that she's going to be around, so she'll do it in the movie. I think that'll be a great little scene. Beta Ray Bill will come in, and he may be a character that is in 2 or 3 films. But Jane Foster, I wouldn't count on her being anything Thor for any longer than 10 minutes in that movie.
Yeah, I like Beta Ray Bill. He's a good character, so I'm looking forward to it. So okay, let's do this. All right, we all talked about this before we came on the air as to what we thought this film should rank as far as MCU Infinity 23, and we've done 2 films so far. So here is the rating. Okay,
The
so
ranking.
guys, yes, there is the rating so far. Okay, will Captain America maintain the #1 spot in the weeks to come? Will Captain Marvel maintain the number two spot? Will she move up or move down? Pretty much like at this point, Captain Marvel probably is never going to be number one because she's already number two to this film. It would never make sense to scoot a film ahead, of another film that is already. So this film, if it doesn't keep number one, it'll always be ahead of this film right here. The reason being is I think that this captain is ranked over this captain is because of character development.
I mean the way the story was told in Captain America versus the way the story was told in Captain Marvel was completely different and completely better. I'm sorry. It was to see Steve develop from the scrawny little kid, well not kid, but the scrawny little man to the 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 super soldier and showing the heart, developing. Yeah, his character was way more fleshed out, and it was just a better all around film.
I think iconography counts for something too. Like he encapsulated the icon status that Captain America already has, the popularity. Uh, this incarnation of Captain Marvel, she's only been around for a few years, so she might still have a few stripes to earn, especially in the MCU. It's very apparent that her best days are still ahead of her.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to see where they're gonna go with her. I
Yeah,
am.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, and especially to be an overpowered character, like feats of strength are probably going to be very, very interesting to see because it's like with any strong character, feats of strength is like that.
Well, I think the writers at Marvel will get it figured out because I know, just to bring up DC for a moment, some people say the reason you don't have another great Superman movie is because he's so powerful, and you got to still make it make sense. So with the fact that her powers, I mean, yes, they have displayed that she has a lot of power, but I don't think they've displayed it so much that they can't make fitting moves at this point
Mm.
because she doesn't really know her power level yet. She just got out from under the control of the Kree anyway, so she
Well,
don't really
well,
know her real power.
well. Let's consider this also. There were many years between Captain Marvel and the events of Avengers Endgame, so she has had plenty of time to figure out
Well,
stuff. So we
true,
we haven't
true.
seen we as the audience haven't seen the extent of her powers yet.
Well, yeah, and we don't know we don't know what she's figured out about herself. I'm sure it's more than what it was, in Captain Marvel the movie. But you know,
I'm
you
sure
can be powerful, but not know you're powerful in certain ways. So it depends on how these powers are triggered.
I'm sure the next movie that features her the villain is probably going to be a squash match. She's probably going to just that's it. She's probably not going to be really challenged until they get into the next main villain of the MCU, and that I don't think has been solidified or confirmed yet. They're talking about Kang the Conqueror. They're possibly talking about Galactus. They're talking about all kinds of people. So we don't know yet. They even talking about Victor Von Doom, who is no joke. Doctor Doom is the man. So what about it, Donnie?
Yeah, go ahead and buy it. Disney Plus and watch it. I, yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, I'm a fan. I can't. It's hard to find something to talk about in this film. It was good. It was good. There's bits I don't like, but it was a good film overall. I think that she will be um, a good character going forward. However, I don't want to see her unless she's nerfed. Just to be fair to Thor.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, all I just say is Stan Lee. Rest in peace, Stan Lee. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, anyway, that's pretty much it for now. This has been MCU Infinity 23. We've covered Captain Marvel, and the next movie that we'll be covering is Iron Man. Iron Man, quite frankly, in my opinion, is the reason why the MCU is the MCU. And and also
Absolutely.
the casting, Robert Downey Jr. So we'll get into all that.
R2G.
We'll get into all that the next that the next time that we you know
Drop
our
this
next
series.
episode. Yeah, next time we drop this series. Um, yes, all of that stuff. Probably be kind of a lengthy episode, but is the Iron Man probably no probably not is
Hey,
the most important movie
let's
in the MCU.
hey,
So
let's save all that for that episode, brother.
yes,
Yeah, and just so you know, Iron Man also could have been Charlie Sheen. So we won our round.
Lord have mercy. I think they're fine with what they did. All right,
all I
y'all.
can say is thank God they didn't make that decision.
Okay. Well,
Tiger Blood Iron Man.
um, w- we want to give thanks to those who are checking out the Black Dimension. Definitely like and subscribe, and we will be dropping a lot more great content in the future. And we will see y'all next time around.
All right, so that's Donnie, that's Roger, and I'm Kev saying unleash the fury. Till next time.